Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. Voters heading to the polls in November are going to want to know about some changes taking place at City Hall. With us now is James Vanderbilt, City Councilman in the city of Anaheim, to tell us about the changes on the City Council, going from 5 members to 7 members, and then this thing called districting. So let's talk about these so people understand what that means when they go to vote. Tell us what districting is and why it came to be in the city of Anaheim.
Certainly. Well, in 2014, voters approved both Measure L and M. Measure L specifically asked the voters if they would be agreeable to having the city elect its council member representatives by territories or areas, or wards, so to speak, instead of citywide. So the city was recently divided into 6 districts. The 6 districts plus the mayor's seat will represent the 7 new positions that were created by Measure M, which asked voters if they wanted to expand the council size from 5 to 7. So now voters going to the poll will be electing individuals who live in their geographical area and will be representing them on the council. And the expectation is that this will do 3 things. One is it brings more voices to the council, and for a city of this size with 350,000 residents, that's probably a very good thing. The second thing it does is it brings some diversity, because Anaheim, again, is so large. The fact that you have an opportunity to have people coming from particular parts of the city means that more voices will be heard. And lastly, we hope, is that it will give opportunities for more people to be involved, both as candidates, because running for a race citywide is pretty expensive, but if you're only running for an area that's 1/6 that size, it makes it more manageable. And then for voters, they will have a chance to be more engaged with the candidates right in their area that they might already know or be very familiar with, because they are people in their immediate community as opposed to one end of the city or the other.
So it's hoped that people will be able to vote for people who represent them more specifically in their area, and it'll address diversity and more interests in those specific areas. Why are you increasing from 5 to 7 members on the City Council? What does that do for you?
Well, again, besides those 3 points, I think that the opportunity to have voters select candidates who, because of the size of the city, you're still dividing the city in a way that will make districts that are larger than most other cities in Orange County. So a district size of 70 to 80,000 is larger than Brea or Tustin, for example. And so it gives those voters in those particular districts the same kind of opportunity to select somebody local, closer to them, someone that they will see in the grocery store, shopping, someone that they can run into at community meetings. So I think those are the reasons why this is probably a real benefit for the citizens.
Mm-hmm. Now, not everyone living in Anaheim is going to see their district where they live, their representative, up for election this time. Why is that?
Well, there is this effort to sort of stagger this transition from 5 to 7. And so in order to do that, you would want to have 3 members elected each election cycle. So because there are 2 new seats being created by Measure M, you have to have 4 elections this cycle. And one of those seats will be a 2-year term, which will be determined after the election. And then that seat will again be up in 2018. Therefore, you have 3 elections this year and 3 elections next year.
So mostly this is a heads up to voters. Check it out. There's more than just the presidential election on the ballot. These important things going on in Anaheim as well. Thanks for being here. And glad you could join us as well. I'm Leslie Leyton.